organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, the mega jackpot is going to make one mega millionaire tomorrow evening. We'll hit the streets to talk about the new record-breaking lotto.
Plus, are Iowans ready for nuclear energy? What it would save the state and what it would cost you. And in sports, the disappointing loss that leaves one Iowa coach still shy of win 200.
That's all coming your way next, right here on Daily Iowan TV.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Good evening and welcome into your Thursday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Lauren Moss.
And I'm Jake Abrams. Thursday, Iowans across the state celebrated Regents Day, a day where Iowa Hawkeyes, Iowa State Cyclones, and UNI Panthers came together at the state capitol. The purpose of the event was to lobby in favor of higher education and convince Iowa lawmakers to keep college students in mind with their legislation. Hawkeye Caucus Day was just this past Tuesday, where Iowa students lobbied in favor of the University of Iowa and all of its accomplishments.
What would you do with $500 million? Friday night's Mega Million jackpot drawing is up to a whopping record-breaking $540 million. The previous record was back in 2007 when the prize was $390 million. Tickets have been bought all throughout the country, and if someone in Iowa City wins the jackpot, they know just what they'll do with the money.
If I won $500 million, I would invest in charities and orphanages and travel the world finding needy people that need my help and lots of money.
Buy a house in Texas where I live, I love the South, and buy a new car because my car hates me and likes to break down all the time.
Well, what I always wanted to do was open up a homeless shelter because I've been there before.
I would pay off my student loans and then I would probably start a production company.
I think I'd probably buy a bunch of Ferraris, probably 12 Ferraris, one of every kind, and then I'd probably just wreck them on purpose just because that's a ridiculous amount of money. So I don't even know.
Well, I don't want to see that guy win 12 Ferraris. If he's going to ruin them, he could just give them to me instead. Well, winning the lottery may help some Iowans who could soon see a higher number on their energy bills. Daily Iowan TV's Allie Wright took to the state capitol to see just how the numbers add up.
The reason Mid-American Energy is looking to build a new nuclear plant in Iowa is simple: cost. The price of coal, which is used to power many homes in Iowa, is increasing, so the company is looking for alternatives. But customers could be paying the price. Literally, energy prices could go up by about 10%. However, nuclear energy provided by the plant would be cheaper than coal in the long run. The nearly $1 billion investment would pay itself off, and customers could save up to 25% over the next 40 to 60 years. Iowa legislators are split on whether or not a nuclear plant is best for the state. Iowa Senator Joe Bolcom recently toured the state to persuade Iowans against the bill.
We know it'll be very expensive, especially when you think about managing the waste from these plants for 1,000 to 10,000 years.
While supporters of the bill say the plant could create jobs for the state, Bolcom says working to make local buildings more energy efficient, as well as concentrating on wind and solar energy, will create more jobs than one plant could.
I think that if you compare nuclear to wind or solar or doing more to make buildings more energy efficient, all those things create far more jobs in the economy than simply building one nuclear power plant in one community.
A version of House File 561 passed through the House last year and last week passed through the Senate Commerce Committee. Now the bill is up for another discussion in the full Senate in the coming weeks. Even if the bill is passed through the Senate, there is no guarantee that the plant will be completed. The bill only allows the possibility of the construction of the plant, rather than providing approval. The Iowa Utilities Board would first have to determine if the plant would benefit the state. A spokesman for Governor Branstad said the more energy sources, the better.
So Governor Branstad supports any and all energy options that will enable us to be energy independent.
But for now, no one knows if it's lights on or off for this bill. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Allie Wright.
Thursday night is the first UI student government debate in 3 years. For the past 2 years at the UI, only one party has been formed by student senators, but this year some say they want to shake up the system. The I Party and the Hashtag Party are competing for students' votes with their own platforms, each with ideas to get the student body more involved. The president debate is scheduled for Thursday night with a vice president debate next Monday.
Be sure to tune into Daily Iowan TV this Sunday for full coverage of the debate.
Still much more to come on Daily Iowan TV.
What the UI plans to do to make campus buildings greener.
And lots of sunshine out in Iowa City this past week. Can too much sun be harm for your body? We'll explain in just a bit.
But first, let's see if that sun will stick around this week as Tasha Woods joins us for a look at our local weather. Tasha?
Well, although today has been a bit cooler, making gardeners worry about those flowers, the sun has also been shining and things will warm up quickly. Tomorrow morning, we can expect a high of 58 and cloudy. Into the afternoon, temperatures will jump to 68, and later in the evening, we'll settle around 59 degrees. Later this weekend, we'll see highs reach 68 on Friday, 77 on Saturday, and 78 degrees on Sunday, making this a great weekend to get outside. Then highs will stay back into the lower 60s to start off next week with a 20% chance of thunderstorms on Monday and Tuesday. So guys, still overall very comfortable temperatures for this type of year. Back to you.
As energy sustainability becomes a central focus at the UI, there is a new expectation for buildings to not only be comfortable, but remain energy efficient. Daily Iowan TV's Brad Maxwell tells us about some complex technology used to manage energy.
It's one of the most advanced pieces of technology on campus, but you won't see it in the classroom or even at the university hospital. Instead, you'll find the Energy Control Lab located in the university's Energy Services building. Since 2010, the Energy Control Lab has helped to optimize the way energy is produced and consumed on campus. The lab consists of 12 computers and 4 large monitors, which all collect real-time data from over 100,000 plot points across campus. While this information may seem overwhelming, George Patterson explains how the lab helps to simplify the process.
We have multiple systems all over campus on our buildings and on our plants that monitor these points, and we collect that data and store it for years.
With the unseasonably warm temperatures we've experienced all winter long, the Energy Control Lab has been an essential tool for managing how the university consumes energy here on campus.
Since our weather fluctuates so rapidly here, normalizing all of your energy information for weather is extremely important if you want to have accurate results.
These accurate results have maximized energy efficiency across campus. But Liz Christensen suggests that analyzing the enormous amounts of data is far from a simple task.
The challenge is that we get so much data into that. We get 100,000 data points in constantly, continually renewed. The challenge is to turn that data into usable information.
The lab's information stretches beyond just engineers and data analysis, but also provides some students the opportunity to work hands-on with the data.
We really tried to bring students into the operation of the Energy Control Center because I think it is a unique opportunity.
Despite the Energy Control Lab coming with a $500,000 price tag, it continues to make energy consumption more economically and environmentally friendly. For these reasons, the Energy Control Lab has become an essential part of the university's ongoing sustainability efforts. I'm Brad Maxwell, Daily Iowan TV.
The lab information continues to help the university strive to reach its 2020 vision, which calls for 40% renewable energy.
And most would agree that the early spring sun is a good thing, but Daily Iowan TV health reporter Muriel Kone reminds us that no matter what the time of year is, exposure to sunlight can also mean exposure to danger.
It's no question that with the beautiful spring weather, the last thing on our minds is the effects of too much sun exposure, especially from tanning. And indoor tanning, which has a much controlled environment, is also an option for some.
I tan because it makes me feel good about myself.
And although Amy enjoys tanning, she has some limitations.
I don't really feel the need to go every day or every other day. It just depends on, the time too. If I have enough time to do it, I will, but if not, then it's not like a huge deal.
Monitoring the amount of time you spend tanning is crucial in avoiding skin cancer. And according to the Center for Disease Control, skin cancer is the most common form of cancer in the United States. But indoor tanning does have a positive effect, such as reduced chance of sunburn, which results from exposure to UVB light from the sun. UVB light is much more dangerous than UVA light, a major light source that is used in tanning beds around the country. And in order to better protect yourself, it is important to apply some sunscreen.
I do use lotions, and I switch up my lotions because that also helps your tan and it extends it longer. And I also use a different lotion on my face just because I don't want my face to get as much color and more like a natural color, and that does have some SPF in it.
So whether you're outside or in a tanning bed, the most important thing is to protect your skin. From Iowa City, Muriel Kone, Daily Iowan TV.
Now we'll take a look beyond Iowa. In Spain, Spanish workers are on a national strike, stopping post offices, public transportation, and garbage pickup today. The protesting follows the new government's plans to make labor reforms and austerity cuts.
And in Michigan, firefighters found a man dead in the basement of a burning home this morning. Officials are waiting for the medical examiner to determine if the victim died from the fire or gunshot wounds found on his body.
Dive teams searched the water near Texas subdivision for a missing toddler this afternoon. The 2-year-old has been missing since he took a nap on Tuesday afternoon, and authorities now believe it will be a recovery operation.
Man, but back here in Iowa City, the sunshine is pretty strong, and the baseball team continues its homestand at Duane Banks Field. So let's turn it over to Chelsea Byrne to see how the Hawks looked in last night's game.
Well, that's right, guys. The sun was shining, but the sunshine didn't carry over to the Iowa Bats as they dropped a disappointing loss to Nebraska-Omaha last night, just days after opening the Big Ten season with a series win against Northwestern. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Kate Constable has more on the game, including head coach Jack Dom's frustrated reaction after a game that would have given him win number 200.
The Hawks put their first and only run on the board in the first inning, then sat back and watched as Nebraska-Omaha rolled in a run in the 3rd, 5th, and 7th innings. And with the bases loaded and a chance to take the lead at the bottom of the 8th, head coach Jack Dom was disappointed his players couldn't get the job done.
It's very frustrating. You know, they basically walked 2 guys and hit a guy, and you know, you got the bases loaded, nobody out, and the pressure's on them. I mean, you know, we need to find a way to move the baseball right there and make them make a play, and we don't even put the ball in play, and that's, you know, it's very disappointing.
Last night's game was incredibly slow-paced, lasting almost 3 hours, which may have contributed to Iowa's lack of rhythm and aggressiveness throughout the game. And with a big series coming up at Indiana, the Hawks were hoping to use this game to build momentum going into the weekend.
I'm just disappointed that, you know, we haven't been able to maintain. We'll have 1 good game or 2 good games, and we just can't maintain it and build and get better. It's almost like something good happens, and then also we get back on our heels instead of just continuing to plow forward.
The Hawks haven't had 3 errors in a game in quite some time, and a frustrated Coach Dom questions his team's appetite to win after the game.
You got to be hungry every day, not you know, play good one day and then kind of back off. And you know, we need to find some guys that are going to, you know, go out and compete every day and not just part of the time.
Kate Constable, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Hawks kick off their 3-game series tomorrow night against the Indiana Hoosiers and look to go 5-1 in conference play. And it's somewhat of a quiet weekend here in Iowa City for Hawkeye sports, but still some exciting events to get out to as March comes to a close. The Iowa softball team brings conference play here for the 2nd weekend in a row, as they'll host Illinois in a doubleheader Saturday and a final contest Sunday. A series lost to Wisconsin last weekend has Marla Looper and the Hawks eager for some wins against the 16-11 Illini. The games will be at 1 and 3 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. Women's tennis also competes at home this weekend with matches both Friday and Sunday. The Hawkeyes are looking for their first conference wins of the season as they host Penn State at 5 p.m. Friday night, followed by the Ohio State Buckeyes at 11 a.m. on Sunday morning. Both matches will take place at the Hawkeye Tennis and Recreation Complex. That's it for a look at sports. Jake and Lauren, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Chelsea. And while sometimes guard dogs just don't do the trick, did you see this? A farmer from Texas is resorting to guard bees to protect his property. He got the idea after thieves rummaged through a bunch of his old equipment. Now any trespassers will get a real sting operation.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Friday's pages of the Daily Iowan.
Find out what President Mason said about the possible tuition freeze.
Plus, what the first new liberal arts and science dean candidate said on his visit to campus.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time on Sunday or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night, and we'll see you on Sunday.